So here I actually put the red line, more of a rectangular shape if anything, across the actual page, and it's slightly slanted, which is actually a common convention within the Empire magazine, but not as frequent. And here I actually added the text informing the audience about the page edition. It's a special edition in this case. So in this case, what I actually did was I deleted the shapes in terms of the actual letters and the actual numbers within the text from the actual rectangular shape itself, therefore allowing the audience to see the actual background in terms of the actual character themselves. So here I added the text in front, and with both of the actual text, including the title, I made sure that it was slightly shadowed to make it stick out as though it's 3D in this point. I also lowered the opacity to make it slightly see-through. Here I did the same, and wanted to see what it was like just having the text on its own, just the rectangular shape on its own with the background. I personally, I don't think it works much, but I feel that it's okay. So what I did here, I put it back, and I added beg your pardon, sorry, and I added a pop-up sign here, which will later be filled with a certain text to attract the audience more. I also moved it to the side a little bit, with exclusive to make it stand out more due to it being the exclusive edition with the actual film itself, but also as it being a 160-page edition itself, which is very large for a magazine. I changed the colour of it, and I just felt that if it was just white, it would have been too overwhelming, I felt. And I wanted to have a different type of colour to actually link in with the atmosphere of the magazine itself. So here it is so far, and I do feel it's quite eye-catching, if I had to say, with the use of, in some cases, vibrant colours, but also the actual colour scheme itself. I do feel that there was area for improvement. So now, I actually added, just to see what it was like, I added a background fill, not a background fill, but I added shapes to actually fill in the space on the sides and underneath, where the actual text would be. I just wanted to see how it would look, and I check out the bottom part because I felt that was too overwhelming, similarly to the actual pop-up sign itself. So I left one side of it, and still I just feel it takes up too much space and it's too irregular in a way. It's a bit too irregular, if I had to say. So here it is again, and I changed the actual poster from the actual inside out poster because I felt that at first I felt that would have been great to actually attract more of an audience. But I added this because linking to the actual themes of the magazine itself and the genre, it would have been more eye-catching and more appealing toward the male audience, target audience. So here I actually changed the rectangular shape to black and more transparent in this case, and I thought it suits it more with the red lines on top. And here underneath, I added images which would occur very frequently within Empire magazines and magazines in general, to attract more of an audience and to show what's inside the magazine further in detail. So here's the actual text, and I do feel the text has to be changed, but I do feel that it's great to actually show and give more clarity about the films that are included within the magazine, therefore aiming itself toward a wider audience. So here's another film I added, and a film film poster film image which I actually added. And through the actual images themselves, there are many genres which will attract a wider audience, whether you be male or female. So here I added another sign, which is also slanted, which fits in with the conventions of the Empire magazine itself, saying "First Look." That does happen quite frequently, and I left it there just to see how the audience would take it, to actually attract them more as being part of an exclusive magazine itself within the content of the magazine. So here's the actual email address, the actual web address, hyperlink to actually use, which they do use within the magazines underneath the slogan, the masthead. And here is a plus sign which they use very often, very frequently within the magazine covers. I do feel it's fairly large, so what I will do is actually make it more thin later on. So here's the actual slogan. So what side do you want in context of the film? I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really give much about the actual film itself, but it does imply that there are two sides, possibly two sides of the law or two sides of agreement leading to the context of violence. But it's hard to say, as you can't really tell from the characters, especially as they haven't got any props to actually define which genre they're from, but it does mention it later on. And here it is so far, just an overall look at it, of it all. I think it looks fairly attractive in my opinion, and it does fit the conventions as far as I'm aware, and I do hope so. Okay, so just a quick look through at the actual characters themselves and how they stand out, and I feel that the lighting, it does affect it all, and I feel that the background is suited, but I think there could be something added toward it. So here is a street background from an actual sample piece of image, an actual sample image from the internet. So I just wanted to see how it looked and how it would suit conventions, as they do use backgrounds such as as they do use backgrounds of streets, for example, within magazine covers to set the actual realism of the film and to link the set to the actual context of the genre itself.